I'm sure you've heard it. Heck, I've probably said it in a video of mine a time or two. The snowbird life is the opportunity to enjoy the best of both worlds. But what no one tells you is just how complicated this lifestyle actually is. It takes a toll on you, emotionally, physically, financially. Before you commit to 2 homes, 2 lives, 2 sets of everything, let me share with you what snowbird life is really like. I've helped many retirees set up their dream snowbird lifestyle, but I've also seen the stress, the surprises, and the regrets. Let's talk about the top struggles that snowbirds face and how to prepare for them before they catch you off guard. These aren't deal breakers, but they are parts of the snowbird lifestyle that rarely get talked about. The more you know going in, the better chance you have of building a lifestyle that actually works for you. So let's dig into the first one, the constant back and forth. I just helped one of my customers sell their snowbird getaway here in Florida. They had owned the condo for a little over 2 years, and when I asked them why they were selling, they said they just never felt settled anywhere. They were spending 5 months here in Florida and the rest of the year up in Maryland. And while they loved getting out of Maryland for the winter, they weren't loving the back and forth between homes. Having to close up one house for season and open another was both tiring and stressful. Plus the road trip to get back and forth, especially with a dog in tow, was taking its toll. Ultimately though, it was the constant planning that made them ditch this lifestyle. For instance, when they arrived at their Florida home, they would go to Costco or Sam's Club to stock up on essentials and fill the fridge and freezer. But as the season wound down and it was time to start packing up to head back north, trying to limit stops to the grocery store and eat through all the food in the fridge and the freezer just wasn't fun. Here's some advice to make that transition between homes a little easier. Create checklists to manage what needs to be done. Hire help at both locations. And build in a settling in week just to adjust. Having 2 homes means twice the maintenance. Buying a home in your snowbird getaway only means that now you have another place to take care of. You are now the proud owner of 2 AC units, 2 roofs, 2 lawns, 2 everything. And even with the help of a home watch service keeping an eye on things for you, problems still pop up. It's like I always tell people, it's a house, it's not getting any newer. Pest issues, leaks, storm damage, things can go wrong fast when no one is there to watch it full time. The best thing you can do when taking on another home is to budget realistically for repairs and unexpected issues. And more importantly, build a relationship with a local handyman or property manager. The snowbird lifestyle comes with the cost of duplicate living. Many of the retirees that I help buy a home away from home usually pay cash, but just because they don't have a mortgage doesn't mean that they don't have stuff to pay for. There are still taxes, insurance, utilities, and maybe an HOA fee. Plus there are cable bills, lawn care, maybe pool maintenance. And this is not just at your snowbird getaway, this is also back at your primary residence. All of these charges add up. The best you can do is track expenses across both homes and cut what you don't actually use. Have you considered insurance surprises? You may not realize this, but if a home sits vacant for 30 days, 60 days, or more, some insurance policies may not cover damage. If a pipe bursts or a roof leaks while you're away, you may be out of luck. Be sure to review your policies carefully and do not neglect to read the fine print. There are usually some very important details in there that should not be overlooked. Ask about vacancy clauses and consider adding on a home watch policy endorsement. This will specifically cover the property while you are away for extended periods of time, beyond what the standard policy covers, particularly for unique risks like vandalism, theft, or damage from unforeseen events. And if you do plan on hiring a home watch service, make sure they are insured and bonded. Healthcare is another thing that can become complicated in a snowbird lifestyle. When you are shuttling between homes, your health may not be top of mind. But if something were to happen while you were at your vacation home, do you have a plan? Multiple homes in multiple locations means different doctors in each place. It means different pharmacies in each place. And it could even mean different Medicare coverage. Some tips to make this a little bit easier is to make sure your medical records are accessible online. And use a national pharmacy. And consider Medigap or Advantage plans with a wider network. Something else that comes along with this snowbird lifestyle is residency and tax confusion. What are the rules and what are the costs when you live part of the year in one state and claim residency in another? Many, if not all of my customers who buy a second home here in Florida claim residency here because there are many tax advantages. But some states will demand proof that you actually left, because if they can find proof that you never actually left, they can go ahead and claim thousands of dollars in taxes. Changing your voter registration to another state is not proof enough. One of my customers, whose northern location was in Minnesota, told me that he had to keep every receipt from his time in Florida just to prove that he was in Florida for a certain period of time. So yes, the solution here is to keep track of your expenses and your days. Make sure you meet that 183-day rule. What is that, you ask? If you spend 183 days or more in a state with an income tax and you maintain a permanent residence there, that state may consider you a resident and tax your income. The final tip for this is to enlist the help of a tax advisor who specializes in dual state issues. Something else to consider when living the snowbird lifestyle is that travel fatigue is a real thing. The snowbird life might be an adventure, especially in your early retirement years, but as you get older, that drive with a pet or that flight with all that luggage to haul starts to wear on you. Like my couple from Maryland that I mentioned at the top of this video, the back and forth for them was getting exhausting. A couple of solutions for this is to keep a car at your second location and book nonstop flights if at all possible, and maybe enlist the help of a travel concierge to make the transition easier. This snowbird lifestyle could make you feel like you're missing out, or it could cause family friction. Going back and forth between homes can create tension in a relationship, especially if one person is keen on getting away and the other person is torn. Missing the grandkids, missing birthdays and recitals, missing snowball fights and sledding. Guilt can creep in when you miss a graduation, the birth of a baby, or even just day-to-day moments with family. The snowbird life gives you freedom, but it could cost you connection with those that you love. What you can do to combat this is to compromise on timing, invite family to visit, and schedule FaceTime routines. Offer up a guest bedroom to the grandkids during school breaks. The key here is to plan quality time, not just quantity. The problem sometimes with the snowbird life is that you yourself can feel like a guest. When you're a seasonal resident, it can be difficult to create a sense of community. You could end up feeling like a visitor at both homes rather than truly belonging. One way to feel like you belong is to buy in a community that has a built-in social network. Maybe it has a clubhouse. Maybe it has fitness classes or golf leagues or a walking group. Try to focus on meeting new people and really get to know them through dinners, happy hours, and game nights. This creates a great friend circle. None of this means that snowbirding isn't worth it. For many, it is the perfect balance, but it does take planning, flexibility, and a willingness to adapt as your life changes. To really enjoy the best of both worlds, you have to accept that this lifestyle is more complex than it sounds. If you're trying to decide where your second home should be in retirement, click on the link below. I've built relationships with agents across the country and even abroad. Let's talk about exactly what your situation is so I can match you with the right agent. This way you can get started with your purchase of your home away from home and start enjoying it sooner rather than later. To help you in your search as to where to retire, check out this next video. It may just help you narrow down your list. And in the meantime, thank you for joining me. I'm Alysia Shivers. Until next time.